So 6 days old today. Just a 6-day-old baby. So the little baby is 11 days old today. Look at his little feathers that are coming out. Look at his little crest. I think it's going to be yellow. He's getting little pin feathers in. Anyways, his eyes are open. Look at the size of his feet and the legs. So big. And look at all the food. They're really feeding him very well. Taking care of him. He's so cute. Okay, the baby's 12 days old now. He grew more pin feathers, and this is the crest is a little bit higher. Are you slipping? Here, let me hold you. And his tail grew a little tiny bit, and he's got a little wee tiny pin feathers on his crop. And they grow so fast. It's 13 days old now. More pin feathers are coming out. See the tail? Looks like it has a few yellow feathers coming out. The baby's 2 weeks old today, 14 days. Getting some color on the tail. The tail's getting longer. Look at his wings. He's 15 days old now. He's gotten in some pin feathers, see, on his throat. He's got some yellow there and yellow on his little cheeks and on his back. He's gotten some yellow little feathers. The baby's 16 days old now. Look at all the little pin feathers. And look at the tail. He's 17 days old now, and he's starting to hiss at me when I take him out of the nest box. And look at his little feathers at the tips. They're starting to open up. Is that ever cute? His tail is longer. He's got a lot more pin feathers. See, on the back of his head. And I think I see a little orange spot right on his cheek. 18 days old now. You can see the feathers opening up at the end of the feathers there. He's gotten more pin feathers. The pin feathers are longer, which is starting to open. His tail is longer. And you can see the little orange spot on the cheek. 19 days old. And look at the feathers. And they're opening up even more today. 20 days old today. Look at all the feathers coming out. More pin feathers. 3 weeks old today. 21 days old. Look how cute he is. Look at these feathers. See all the pin feathers? His little face. Even his little crest there, you can see the feathers sticking out at the ends there. Hi, little guy. His orange cheek is coming in. And the tail is getting longer. Here he is at 23 days old. You can see all the feathers that have opened up. Look at his wing. He still has pin feathers, of course, and some more are still coming out on the back and the back of his head. And his tail is growing. The feathers are starting to come out of their pin feathers. He's 24 days old now. He's looking like almost like an adult cockatiel now. Look at all the feathers. You can see his wing, how it's two-toned here. His tail has a yellow feather. He's getting yellow feathers on the back. He doesn't have a lot of yellow on his face there below his little beak. His orange cheeks are coming in. Look at his crest. I think it's going to be a nice big one. 25 days old. Look at all the feathers. He's basically almost fully feathered. There's a few small pin feathers on the back and the back of the head. He looks like Monty almost. He just has a few yellow feathers to make him like a pied, and the end of his wing here. His flights, see them? Are yellow, but the other side is gray. And he's got a little bit of yellow on the back. So he's just like lightly pied. And he's got his little, look at the beard here. Look at the face. So he's still got pin feathers there on his cheek. The orange cheek is coming out, little pin feathers there around the eyes. His crest is growing. Oh, he's so cute. He's 26 days old now. He's got beautiful feathers around his, what I call beard area, under his beak there. But unfortunately, somebody's plucking him. They plucked the feathers. It's hard to see the little baby off. Come here. There we go. Oh, he's backing up. Where is he? Go back there. Look, they plucked the feathers off the back of his head. And I don't know who's doing that, Monty or Willow. But that's awful. He's not bleeding or anything. They just pulled the feathers out. Anyway, this is what he looks like at 26 days old. He's 27 days old now, and unfortunately the parents plucked him more and kicked him out of the nest box unless he left on his own. I found him in the cage, plucked more, and the parents are rejecting him, so I am hand feeding him. Anyways, here he is, 27 days old. Alright, so now he's 28 days old, 4 weeks old today. He's really big now. His tail is still short, and he still has a couple of pin feathers under his wings, and maybe a little bit on his back. But other than that, once his head feathers grow back, he'll look good. So this is him at 4 weeks old. 30 days old now, and he's eating pretty good. He just ate a whole bunch. He has a full crop. So other than that, it looks like a full-grown bird almost. The tail is still a little short. The flight feathers are growing a little bit more. And he's got a bald head, of course, from being plucked. But that should grow in pretty soon. So 30 days old. They basically look like a full-grown bird. So here he is at 9 weeks old. Come here, Bubbles. So I named him Bubbles. Here, you sit there for a second. I named him Bubbles, and he is a boy. I did a DNA gender test, and he is a male. And all his feathers, come here, sweetie. All his feathers grew back in the back of his head. So he's looking good. You can see his little markings here. His tail is yellow, and his flight feathers there are yellow. But the other side is gray. And so he's like lightly, come here, sweetie. He's lightly pied. Yeah, he makes a lot of noise. Bubbles! Come on, Bubbles! There we go. So he's pretty tame because he's been hand-fed. And he looks like a normal cockatiel now, except for his... Go back here for 1 second. He's crying. He wants to be fed. Okay, come on, sweetie. It's dinner time, right? It's dinner time. Okay, there we go. We're going to go eat, okay? You hungry? Yeah, so pretty much he's full grown, but he's still on hand formula. Okay, eat the food. He always does it. He takes a lot of food and he leaves it in his beak.